Hi everyone, you are watching Biology with Inshra, and in today's video we are going to be discussing about minerals, vitamins and water. Now before we start this, in the last video I spoke about fats, and in this video we're talking about minerals, vitamins and water, all three in one video. And then in the next video I will be talking about carbohydrates, and in the next video after that we'll be discussing about proteins. And then after the next video we will be discussing about starvation, obesity and some diseases that you could face if you're obese, or if you're malnourished, or if you have starved yourself, and all those details will be discussed. And after finishing the chapter nutrition, our focus on the past paper questions will increase more. So the videos that then I will be making will be based on purely past paper questions on both paper 1 and paper 2 for all the topics that have been covered up till now. And once quite a lot of past paper question videos have been made, then we will move on with the next chapter, so that I am sure that the concepts have been understood and that students will be able to answer the questions properly and with guidance. We'll be keeping the mark scheme in mind as well as we solve those questions. Okay, so let's start with today's topic. Now I was a little late with the video, but I have got it ready just in time. Okay, so we're talking about minerals, right? Minerals, vitamins and water. Let's first talk about minerals. Okay, so minerals, if you just follow the pointer here, my hand here, minerals are inorganic compounds and they are essential for a healthy diet. Now minerals are inorganic, which means they don't directly give you energy, but they are important and they are needed for a healthy diet, as if you don't get minerals in your diet, then you can face some troubles or problems or health issues, as it is a nutrient that is needed. Now there are some important types of nutrients that is considered important to be learned for your O-levels biology 5090, right? Starting with the first one is calcium, which is a mineral. Now calcium helps in the formation of your teeth and bones, or you can say it not only helps with the formation but helps in making your bones and teeth, and also helps in clotting. Now whenever you get hurt or there's a cut on your hand and then there's this wound and it's bleeding, so what happens is that in our red blood cells there are proteins present, platelets, that actually work by making clots on your wound so that it is covered and that the bleeding is stopped. Now for the clotting factor to occur, or for that material to form on your cut or on your wound, calcium is very important, because if you don't have calcium then your wounds won't heal on time and you would be losing a lot of blood, which will then in turn cause weakness, tiredness, and maybe some other complicated issues which is to be discussed. Maybe not now, but maybe for some other day for the sake of knowledge. Okay, it is absorbed by the help of vitamin D. Now get this. Okay, let me explain this in a very simple way. This is your mineral calcium, okay? So to get calcium you need vitamin D. So what basically is the connection? I mean, why do you need vitamin D to get calcium? So when you have your vitamin D here, your calcium will be absorbed, but if you don't have your vitamin D here, there's no calcium for you. So in other words, you need your vitamin D to get your calcium absorbed, as this is what helps in the absorption of your mineral, because if there's no vitamin D then there's nothing to get your calcium absorbed. So remember to have your vitamin D taken as well along with your calcium if you want your calcium to be absorbed. So having calcium with the vitamin D is like having nothing. Okay, so where can we get calcium? We can get calcium from dairy products like milk, eggs, yogurt, cheese. Okay, so you can also get supplements, that is optional. So deficiency what is deficiency? Okay, so let me just highlight this to emphasize on this word so that we understand the meaning, right? What is deficiency? So deficiency is basically lack of a particular nutrient, like you're not getting enough of that nutrient, right? Like if you're having a calcium deficiency, you're not getting enough calcium, and how much to get of a particular nutrient, it depends on your gender, your weight, your lifestyle, your location and all that stuff. That is totally different, but just know that those are some of the factors that determine how much of a mineral or vitamin you should be having. Okay, so you basically get rickets, which is a disease in which your bones become weak, and when they become weak, they can easily break or fracture. Now, this is especially a problem for younger children. When they're growing, they need to get enough calcium and vitamin D so that their bones are strong, and that because they're growing, right? But if they don't get enough, their bones can become brittle and weak. Iron is also very, very important, right? I'm just gonna highlight this up for you guys so that you know that this is extraordinarily important, that needs to be studied. Okay, so let's continue. So iron helps in the formation of a red pigment called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a red pigment present in the red blood cells, and hemoglobin is what that carries oxygen around the body, right? Oxygen combines with your hemoglobin, forming oxyhemoglobin to be distributed around the body. It's written here, which carries oxygen. So what happens when there's not enough iron? Well, obviously there's not enough iron, there's not enough hemoglobin to be made. And when there's not enough hemoglobin to be made, not much oxygen can be carried around the body. And when there's lack of oxygen distribution around the body, you get a condition called anemia, in which then again lack of oxygen. And when you don't get enough oxygen, let's think of it in a deeper sense. So oxygen is needed for respiration, right? And respiration produces energy. But when you don't have oxygen, there's no respiration happening. And when there's no respiration happening, you're getting no energy, right? And when you're getting no energy, you should be feeling weaker, tired, lazy. Although if you are, it's not your fault, but lazy, tired, a bit dull. So it's from here, okay? Yeah, okay, third one, fiber or roughage. Now this is actually quite important because you need this, and I'll explain why you need it. Okay, I'm just gonna start with it. So roughage or fiber. So this aids a process called peristalsis and allows easy and smooth movement of the contents of the gut. What does this mean? Let me explain it to you in a simpler sense. Let me just grab a good colored pen so that you get it. Okay, just have a look here. This here is the gut. Okay, let's think of this as your small intestine or something, right? And there's some contents that are moving here. Okay, maybe your food contents, maybe you had a chicken burger. So when you have this chicken burger, maybe for instance, or french fries or McDonald's or whatever, so what happens is that fiber is something that the body does not digest or absorb. Okay, it is inabsorbable, so it is ingested or taken out as waste along with your other waste materials from what you eat. Okay, this is what your fiber should look like. It is inabsorbable, it is a waste. So it gives the walls of your muscles of the gut a bulk to push against. So there is this pushing factor which allows the muscles of the gut to push against. So when this increases the pushing factor, basically it helps your food contents to move faster and quicker and smoother, right? This is actually considered good. So in conclusion, it aids peristalsis. Peristalsis is a process, it's a rhythm like muscular contraction. So when you eat something, for example, if you're eating chicken, so don't expect chicken to just directly drop into your stomach. Basically there are a series of wave-like, muscle-like contractions which slowly and gradually allows your food to travel through your muscles, and eventually it enters your stomach, and then it through peristalsis continues to travel across the full gut until it is ingested. Okay, and allows easy and smooth movements of the contents of the gut. Gut is basically the full system from your mouth till your anus. Deficiency. Constipation. Basically, constipation means difficult bowel movements, when you experience difficulty in ingesting your waste. And to prevent this, you should have a lot of fiber in your diet. Drink plenty of water to make sure your stool is not hard. Okay, and besides drinking plenty of water, just try to have a good diet with lots of fruits and vegetables. And there's one other extra information that I'm telling you, not included in the syllabus. Normally there's this medicine prescribed by doctors called Dafalic, in which there's this sugar, lactulose. Now this is something that the body cannot absorb, so this also gives your muscles, the muscles of your gut, this bulk to push against. Okay, It is sweet in taste and it is not absorbed or broken down by the body, called lactulose. Okay, vitamins. This is it for minerals. There's nothing much in detail at all. This is more than enough. This covers literally everything. Okay, vitamins. Vitamins. Oh, 1 second. Vitamins are also needed in small amounts, and here are some types. Vitamin C is the first one. It improves your immune system, your defense system, to fight against infections. The better it is, the more faster and quicker it can fight off infections and prevent you from getting sick. And helps in the formation of connective tissue. Connective tissue is what basically allows things to get joined. Like for example, maybe this is your teeth. Yeah, something like this, your teeth, and maybe then there's your gum here. Oh, sorry. And then maybe, just to give an example, your gum is yours. So there's this connective tissue here which allows them to stay connected, to stay joined, right? If it hadn't been for the connective tissue, then they would not be joined. So they play a role in healing as well. So connective tissue keeps your tissues, your cells joined together, and so they get damaged when they're boiled and can be found in citric fruits like lemon, orange, like sour fruits. So what happens when you don't get enough? There's a disease called scurvy which you get. So you get a disease called scurvy in which your gums bleed and your teeth fall out. Now why do your teeth fall out? Because basically when you don't have that connective tissue, there's nothing holding your teeth with your gum. This is just an example. So when there's no connective tissue, there's nothing holding your teeth with your gum, so your teeth fall out. Then your wounds don't heal properly, because connective tissue also plays a role in making those skin cells to hold them together, the skin cells together. And basically when there's nothing holding them, then you will bleed and your wounds won't heal, and that's where your gums end up bleeding. Vitamin D is something similar to calcium. It helps in the absorption of calcium to strengthen bones and teeth. Can be found in dairy products, same as calcium. And our skin, there's one other quite remarkable thing. Our skin makes vitamin D when exposed to the sun. So spend plenty of time in the sun if you want an adequate amount of vitamin D to be made. And if your skin is a bit darker, then I would recommend to stay for a longer time, because darker skin generally take longer to make vitamin D, due to the fact that darker skin reflects white light. So they need to be exposed for a longer period of time as compared to fair skin. Deficiency, rickets, same as vitamin D, in which you get brittle and weak bones. Vitamin A is not included in the course. Now this is not needed. You need not study this, but for the sake of knowledge, I'm just gonna tell you what is vitamin A and why you need it. It helps us to see in the dark, as it makes those cells at the back of the eye called the retina, that is which allows us to see in the dark. And when those cells or chemicals are not made due to the lack of vitamin A, you get night blindness, in which you're not able to see in the dark. Okay, water now. This is actually not much of it comes in the exam, in the paper. This just a little bit of it comes in it, so we won't spend too much time on this, just a little bit. Okay, there's certain things that need more focus, and there's certain things that do not require much focus, and this here does not require much focus, but however it needs to be done. Water. Our bodies are composed of water, about 90%. Yes, 90% of our body is made up of water, so that's quite a lot, right? Protoplasm is made up of water, and mucus is made up of water. Blood is water. Okay, what water does is that it regulates the body temperature through sweating. So just think of it as like this. You're sweating, so there's water on the surface of your skin, right? But why are you sweating? Because you're feeling hot, right? So when there's water on the surface of the skin, it evaporates, and we know that evaporation creates this cooling effect. So when this cooling effect is created, what happens is that you get this feeling of coolness, and this is how your body temperature is regulated. When it's very hot, that's how your body temperature decreases to reach a normal temperature, which is about 37 degrees Celsius, and that is needed for the proper functioning of enzymes, as discussed in one of the videos of enzymes. So water transports dissolved substances in the blood. So there's many nutrients present in the blood, like amino acids or sugar and some minerals and vitamins, and they're dissolved in water, which is, blood is water, and this is needed for the transportation around the body. Waste products like salts are removed in your urine or sweat. Okay, this is basically a method of waste. Okay, needed for metabolic reactions. There are billions of reactions happening in our bodies, and water is the main site for these reactions. Like in the cytoplasm of cells, cytoplasm is mainly consisted of water, and the cytoplasm is where reactions occur. Okay, everyone, this is it. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Do like, subscribe, share, like my Facebook page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this with friends and families. And after having completed videos on carbohydrates, proteins, starvation and obesity and all that stuff, then I'll be making past paper video questions and all the topics that have been covered up till now. And once I feel that we have done enough, then I will be making more videos on the upcoming chapters. And if you want, we can do revision on some chapters, as some may have asked before that they want some revision to be done, so we can do that as well. That is not an issue, but we still have a long way to go. So that's it for today. As always, keep learning. See you in the next video.